welcome to the 6th episode of Two Friendless Friends.
Hello.
And today, I think we'll be doing a Q&A from questions that people have sent in on Instagram. But before we start that, Flora, can we please get an update on your life?
Oh, okay. Well, what has been happening, honestly? Well, uni's starting soon. But
very soon.
Yeah. By the time this is up, it'll already have started, I think.
Or it was about to start, I think. It's like end of O week.
Okay, right. It's actually the 2nd of February today, so yeah. What has been happening in my life? Oh, I went to 2 job interviews recently. Actually, no, I haven't. I went to 1, and I'm planning to go to another one. Yeah.
But by the time this has come out, you'll have gone to 2.
Yeah. So I did 1 at a medical center, and then I'm doing another one for optom assistant, which is honestly basically just receptionist again. Yeah. But I think it's just a fancy name. I'm getting way better vibes from the optometrist one. Just the way that phone manner and the way that the ad was written, everything just seemed better. The only downfall is that it's further away. But what about you, Kelly?
So I am very broke right now because I just bought an iPad.
Same. Not the iPad part, but also broke.
Yeah, both of us are very broke right now. And it's not a good time to be broke because people are starting to go out again.
Yep. I'm so sad about that.
Yeah. But I had to take advantage of the free AirPods promo, so haha.
Oh yeah, by Apple. Okay, so now that we've gotten just a quick update on both of our lives, we're going to start on to kick off our 36 questions. We're actually gonna not 36, sorry, to kick off our Q&A session. We're going to start by asking a question from the 36 questions to fall in love with someone. So Kelly, did you have one in mind?
I just wanted to ask, I think I know the answer to this, but what is your biggest fear?
I think you know the answer, but what do you think?
Yeah. Yours?
Yeah.
My answer for you was, I would have thought it was needles.
Yeah, needles, because they're so disgusting. It's
it's probably the worst thing to be scared of in terms of right now because corona vaccine.
Yep.
And vaccines in general.
Why couldn't I just be scared of snakes or something? But why needles? Where they're essential to survival. Not, well, yeah. Or better health. I'm not an anti-vaxxer. I just don't like something sharp jabbing into my skin and into my veins. It's so disgusting.
I'm pretty sure it's quite a common fear.
It is because of, I learned this in psychology. It's because there's an evolution component to this. There's a reason why a lot of people are just kind of born into fearing needles and I don't know, big animals. And it's because needles, it's a sharp object, right? And in the past, for us to be able to survive, we had to use spears or something. So we correlated that to killing someone or our weapon of survival. So when we look at needles, we kind of think this is gonna kill us. But also, don't quote me on that. But I also think that I'm right, But I'm not confident.
I don't particularly like needles, but I'm not scared of them. Because, there's people that, apparently there's people where, when they get, shots or, when they get blood drawn, they will watch the needle go in.
Yep.
I can't watch it go in. But I don't think it's something I personally would want to watch happening. But, I'm okay with it.
What's your biggest fear then?
I have a weird irrational fear of moths for no reason.
Moths?
I just don't like them. Do
you like butterflies?
I'm okay with butterflies. But I think as a kid, I don't even know if this is true, but my parents told me that moths were poisonous or something. And, like, apparently they, like, give off this, like, powdery thingy, and that, like, if you inhale it, you're gonna die. And, like, I think because of that, I have an irrational fear of moths, where, like, I'm just scared I'll die around a moth.
I mean,
but I'm pretty sure, like, it was just my parents lying to me to make sure that I don't, like, go and touch them and stuff. Because, like, you know how kids, like...
yeah.
A lot of kids like bugs. But my parents made me kind of scared of all bugs after that.
My friends have said a lot of things to me that, like, that I now have, like, developed a fear of. So, like, when we used to go, like, riding our bike outside on the streets, my dad said that I couldn't ride over the drain or else I'd fall in. And now I can't even walk over a drain. Like, because I just have a fear of, like, falling into it.
Like, we know that it won't happen.
Yeah, I know.
We're still scared of it because, like, it was instilled in us at such a young age.
Yeah.
So I have an irrational fear of moths.
Okay, so let's actually get
a funny story regarding my fear first.
Okay.
So the other day, there was a moth in my room. Guess how big it was? It was smaller than a centimeter wide, and I was still scared.
I said,
it was like the tiniest baby moth, but I was so fucking scared.
I mean,
but everyone was asleep, so I had to kill it myself. Like
that one time when there was like
I wouldn't be able to
in your
sleep,
room, and you had to sleep outside.
Oh no, but that was because I didn't know where it went. But apparently, I actually killed it. So
oh right, because you sprayed
I slept in the living room.
Alright, okay, since we have a lot of questions to get through today, we're just going to cut our introduction quite short and actually get into the Q&A questions that you guys submitted through Instagram Instagram. And we want to kind of make this Q&A like a regular thing. So from time to time, I'll put up a question on Instagram. So feel free to, like, anytime you want, even if there's no story on Instagram, to just DM 2.friendlessfriends on Instagram and send in your questions. So thank you for everyone who sent in their question, and I will be asking the questions today.
And I don't think we'll end up going through all of the questions because some of them are like topics that we've planned for like future episodes. So don't worry if your question hasn't been answered yet. And I don't think we have enough time to answer all the questions anyway.
Yeah, okay. But I will just pick a few out. So, first one that was sent in was from Peony, so thanks so much, babes. She says, how's the podcast going, and are you keen for second year of uni?
The podcast is going pretty well. I'm still kind of scared that, like, once we get back to uni, we won't have that much time for this.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, recording is fine, but actually, like, you editing the audio and then me, like, doing scheduling and then us doing promo as well. Like, I'm kind of worried because just from last year's experience, uni sucks.
It was a bit hectic, yeah.
And I have 2 major group projects for 2 courses this year.
I have not checked. But yeah, so, like, I reckon podcast is going quite well. To be honest, like, I really don't care too much about views and, like, how many listens we get, because for me, I'm just doing this so that I have, like, a place to, like, put my thoughts out. And it just happens to be, like, online where people can see it, which is kind of like what I do with my Instagram stories sometimes. Sometimes I pretend to be a influencer and make, like, unboxing videos, knowing that no one is watching them.
I love them though.
There's like 2 people who watch it, but I still do it anyway, just for, like, myself. And are you keen for second year? Yes, I actually am, because I feel like this year I've got my social life, like, checked, kind of.
Our social lives are getting better.
It's getting better,
or, like,
yeah.
Yeah, and I hope, like, in person, like,
oh yeah, definitely
would
that
help, and we're doing med review, so
oh yeah, like the societies, and yeah, okay. And then she says, I'm not really a question, but I'm really proud of you guys. So thanks so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
And then this is what Nick from the review.
Oh, I've seen this question.
So from our society, he said, What is your favorite student society and why is it? Oh, okay. Sorry.
And why is it law review?
I read the question as what is your favorite student? I was like, why would you word it like that? But to read it properly again, what is your favorite student society and why is it law review? So do you want to answer this?
Well, like, to be honest, I haven't been really involved in many societies. Literally, like, law review from last year, term 3, and then med review this year. So far, like, I can't really say anything because I've only been involved with law review because med review is just taking off. So, like, yeah, law review is my favorite.
Honestly, I also am not really involved in any other societies. I'm doing peer mentoring for BSOC this year, but I wouldn't even say like BSOC is my favorite. So I would too say law review because that's where like I met that's why I met like a lot of friends. I feel like I gotten closer to you, Kelly, through law review, and yeah like it was just good memories were made there.
Yeah,
okay.
It was also like a good break from like lockdown.
Oh yeah, definitely.
We were both like so, well, like as the name of this podcast said, we were so friendless.
Yeah.
And we just didn't really have much of a social life until law review started. Yeah. So that's why like there's gonna be a special place for law review because it was like just the first thing we got involved in as well.
Yeah. And if you're like a first year, actually not even first year, if you're at UNSW, you should join one of the reviews, preferably law and med. But yeah. Okay, so my friend Zara, she asked a few questions. I'll choose one of them because I don't know if we're going to be able to get through them. But let's see. One thing you regret doing and one thing you might regret doing in the future.
One thing, so like as in something that I'm doing now that I could regret in the future.
So I think like one thing you regret from the past and one thing you think you'll do that you'll regret in the future.
From the past, I think, well, trying to get into med was a dumb idea because I wasted so much money on that. Like, my parents wasted a lot of money in terms of, like, going to, like, getting the package to study for UCAT, paying for UCAT. Can you believe that literally going in to sit for, like, I think it was, like, 3 hours in a room in front of a computer to do a test cost me $300?
I know, when I heard it, I thought UCAT was like $100 or something. People pay $300 for UCAT. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, and I was like, why am I paying for this? But my parents were like, just do it anyway. And then like actually going to like a couple interviews, one of my parents, like my mom had to take off time from work. And, like, we had to pay for, like, plane tickets for Adelaide. We had to, like, go to Newcastle. And, like, because my interviews were, like, earlier in the morning, I had to stay overnight the day before. Because if I didn't, like, there was a huge chance that, like, a little delay could make me miss my interview. So, yeah, that happened. And I'm, like, I regret spending that much money on something that, like, honestly, I don't even know why I wanted it at that point because I hate biology, but I wanted to get into med.
Oh, okay. What about something that you think you'll regret in the future?
Like, I don't think I'll regret this because, like, I'm aware of it now, but something that I'm kind of scared of regretting in the future is kind of not taking advantage of my time at uni before we start, like, because after we graduate, we have full-time jobs, like, we'll still have weekends, but I want to make the most of uni to, like, get closer with people and socialize more, because I think after uni, your social life kind of cuts down a bit to, like, your closest friends and people at work.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, so for me, very generic answer, but I don't think I really regret anything from the past because I think that everything that's gone wrong has taught me some kind of lesson. But when you mentioned something about like the UCAT and paying so much, I think mine would just be not really like something I regret from the past is not really knowing how to study. Like I wish I just because in terms of my marks, I don't think they really reflected how much I knew because of the way that I studied. And I got burnt out a lot during trials. So that really, really affected my marks. And it's not something that I really dwell on much, like too much now. But, yeah, like I would say maybe not realizing how to study for myself. And for the future, I have two answers. One has to be to do with driving, obviously, because I don't think I'm a good driver at all. So I feel like I'm going to make some kind of really dumb mistake that's going to end in someone getting hurt. I mean, I have a hunch that I'm going to die by... It's going to be a car-involved accident. And then for my second one, it's just I feel like I'm gonna regret getting into some kind of romantic relationship because I feel like I'll end up I won't put my own needs first and it's gonna end up being toxic.
Oh yeah, you're that kind of person. You're way too nice.
I won't be able to get out.
You need someone to slap you in the face and tell you that you need to get out.
Yeah, but I won't be able to. So that's what I'm very scared about. Okay, and then I'm not sure what his name is, but AKL.S. I'm so sorry. Okay, Akul. Akul.S says, what were exam weeks for HSC like?
Oh, that depended on who you were and what subject combination you did, and then like also what Nessa decided to do for that year in terms of the
No, but this is for yourself, I think.
Well, for me, it sucked because my birthday landed on one of the exams, and I think this was quite common as well because like it's around where like a lot of people have birthdays. So my birthday landed on the physics exam, which was the one I did worst in. So, haha. Yeah.
My exam week for HSC was pretty good, I think. Because I remember for our year, they had like chem, physics, like 4U, echo, all kind of grouped together.
No, not really. Because
there was towards the end.
I think
there was
echo was grouped with something. And 3U English was also grouped with something, but I just remember my timetable being pretty well spread out, but I kind of wanted it a bit closer together so I could finish earlier.
Oh, I preferred spread out, actually. And in terms of, like, how much I stressed, I don't think I, like, stressed a lot for the actual HSC. I think there were, like, a few moments during the whole year where, like, I broke down because of stress, but I'm pretty sure I stressed more to do with vaccinations in year 11.
I mean, like, I think the moment you get to your actual HSC exam block, like, you kind of feel, you get this feeling that, like, this is it, like,
yeah,
it's like you can't really change anything at that point because, like, you've just gotten so close to the end that, like,
plus, like, everything before leading up to it would have prepared you for that moment. Like, being in that exam room, under the exam conditions, you would have done it so many times prior to the actual HSC. So when you're actually doing it, I don't think it's, like, a very big deal. Okay, but moving on, I realize we have a lot of questions here. I know I said that before. Florence says, spicy period story.
Spicy period stories? I don't even get my period.
Oh, right. Do you have any? Or you can, if you want to, like, talk about...
Oh, I remember. It's not spicy, but it was kind of funny. So basically, the timing of this period was so bad. I was in Vietnam. I think I was meant to go on a trip to Central Vietnam. So, like, I'm from the South, and we were gonna go on a trip to Central Vietnam just to, like, because that's where, like, I think a lot of if you see, like, travel pictures and stuff, like, that's where a lot of the scenic pictures are taken around that area, the Central Vietnam. And basically, the night before I left, we packed up because, like, I think this is generally in Asian countries, you don't really trust the hotel to keep your stuff safe, especially, like, smaller hotels. Like, so we decided that we'll put our kind of all our belongings and the expensive stuff with family. So my cousins came over to pick up our stuff, and we only kept what we wanted to take on the trip, right? And I was like, oh, I probably won't get my period. So I packed the pads into the suitcase that my cousin was gonna take. And then I just had my little pouch that I usually have with a couple pads. And then my cousin left, and guess what happened?
Oh, but you had the pouch. Could you purchase?
No, but the pouch, it was like it was like a 5-day trip. My pouch wasn't enough for 5 days.
Right.
Yeah.
But you could have purchased more, right?
But it's just like, I'm very used to the pads that we use, like the ones that I bring.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have a specific, I only use the brand U by Kotex. That's like, I have a very specific choice in pads, and like, because my flow is heavier, so I tend to use night pads during the day as well, like on the first few days. So yeah, that was a bit of an issue. So I was like getting like angry at my parents because I was like, crap, I didn't pack I didn't pack enough for the trip, right? And then like basically the next day I was still like kind of pissed. And then turns out, because one of my cousins was going with us, he's a guy. My oldest cousin's a guy, so he got pads off his sister to give to me.
Oh, that's nice.
And like, it was literally like, he brought a massive pack, and I was like, what are you doing? Like, he brought like, it was a pretty big pack as well, and I was like, that's a bit excessive, but
no,
okay. But like, yeah, it was
at least you had it.
Yeah, I ended up only having a few left anyway, because like somehow it was like a really heavy flow as well.
Oh.
Yeah,
well,
but that was
better to be prepared.
That was a slightly disastrous episode.
I think I'm really blessed because I don't have like a very heavy flow. I don't really get cramps either. I get like backaches, which are bad, but I don't get like cramps, and I don't really think I go through, what is it called? Oh my gosh, what is it called? Like I know, is it PMI? I don't think
PMS.
Okay, yeah, PMS. Yeah, premenstrual.
I don't know.
Yeah, syndrome. Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. I don't think I really go through that, but only because I'm way too like moody anyway to notice anything.
Yeah, I feel like, because like I noticed it, but then now I'm just like this all the time. Like, I'm always like pissed, so like I don't think it makes a difference. But like another period story that I have is, I went to a girls' school, right, at some point, like year 7 and 8, and we had, do you remember like sport, you had swimming? Did you ever do that? Like, summer sport was like swimming, and like, so year 7 was swimming, year 8 we did a bit of surf life saving at this beach, and then there was this 1 week, because it's like 150 girls. What do you expect?
People use period as like, an excuse though.
No, but people are bound to have their periods. Like, there's bound to be like a week where like quite a big group will have their periods. You can't really avoid that, yeah? And basically, we got roasted for having our periods. And they were like, you can use a tampon.
Oh,
and
yeah.
still
Wasn't
swim.
it a female teacher too, though?
Yeah. Yeah, so I was slightly pissed after that. And I already hated that teacher because she dogged me in year 7. She yelled at me for a mistake that she made. So I was like, okay.
Having beef with the year
like
7.
She literally yelled at me she said, okay, wait, I'm deviating now.
Yeah.
But I need to tell this story to the world.
Sure.
So basically, first day of year 7, I think it was like literally first day of like proper classes, because you know how there's the kind of introduction stuff that you go through.
Yeah, like orientation.
Yeah. It's not really like orientation. Like I think around like the first few days of year 7 usually are like they use it to like kind of familiarize you with like the school itself and like kind of take you around and also get to know the other year 7s. So first day of actual proper school, I had sport, and they already told us to hand in our notes for swimming because like summer sport was swimming for year 7. So we had to have a permission note signed and handed into this box thing outside this office. And like I didn't really know where it was. I only knew where the PE office was. And so basically, I went with my friends after we had our notes signed. We went to the PE office to ask where the box to put the slips were, and the teacher was like took us over there, and she put them in herself for us. And then it got to that day, and then I was apparently she's like, Kelly Loy, where is your permission slip? Like she was going down the list of people that didn't hand in a sliplet. And I was like, I handed it in. Like, literally, I put it in the box outside your office. And she was like, no, you didn't. It didn't reach my hands. So, therefore, you didn't hand one in. And I was like, bruh. And the other teacher was like, she handed it to me and I put it in the box. Like, I can say that she had like, her permission slip handed in. And then she was like, I don't care. It didn't reach my hands, so therefore, you don't get to swim. And then like,
Wait, you
I think
really
the
weren't
teacher
allowed
like,
to swim though?
and then the teacher that helped me hand it in like talked to the head for a bit.
Yeah.
And I ended up being allowed, but like apparently she said, I'll give you another note, hand it in tomorrow, and directly. So the teacher told me, not the head, the teacher that put in my slip for me, she was like, okay, bring it directly to me tomorrow and we'll go together to give it directly to the head.
Oh, what did
so
the
she
teacher
can't
though?
complain anymore. Yeah, so like I think after that I hated the head of PE.
Honestly,
To clarify, this was at NSG. The head of PE at Roos was very nice.
like PE teachers in general are just like no one likes them.
Like, no, it's half. There's like a few
Okay,
that
yeah,
are super
true.
nice, and then the rest suck.
Yeah. Okay. And to answer Florence's question, period story, what would...
We don't really have spicy period stories. They're all painful.
Well, not really it's not like very spicy, but there was one, like I don't even leak either.
Oh.
But there
Bro,
was
you're
one
so
time, like,
lucky.
yeah, I know. That's why I feel very blessed. One time this is when I first got my period, so I didn't really know anything about it. Very uneducated girl. And we got invited to like swimming. And you know, I didn't know anything, so I just went in the pool. Yeah. And honestly, that's my story. It was really gross afterwards, but nothing like embarrassing happened.
I was really lucky with my first period because it was like a weekend and I was at home and my mum was home. So like that was like, I think the timing of my first period was very good.
Oh, I was in the
For some
city.
other people, it would have been really bad.
Okay, and then my friend Gina asked, how do you deal with procrastination and how do you manage time better?
I don't. That's literally my answer. I don't.
I feel like I'm pretty good with procrastination because I don't really like leaving things to the last minute. I like, especially with like doing essays and stuff, I always like to complete it at least like 3 days before the deadline.
Oh yeah, you're that person.
so that I have.
Oh yeah, I remember when we did the same course and you were like, I already finished and I haven't even started. Like, you finished the whole assessment.
Wait, really?
And I didn't even
Oh
start
yeah, that one.
And I was like, bro, I'm so screwed. But yeah.
I don't start very early, but I also, I don't know. I make sure that I have enough time at the end though. And then my friend, oh, so thanks Gina for sending that in. And then my friend Nanapat says, what are you up to these days? A smiley face.
Nothing much.
Yeah, we kind of went through it at the beginning of the episode. Nothing really much. Got an interview coming up, a week coming up, which is going to be fun. And then
We're gonna be at the meet and greet.
Oh, yeah, but we can't promote that anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. And next question, which is from my best friend Jamie, because she's the best person.
Oh, Jamie. Yes, she is the best person. I've talked to her.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, I want to get into this story though. So for Christmas, Jamie like made me this book, like a little magazine thing. And she edited all the pages herself, front cover, back cover. She put like games in. It's very like a Taylor Swift themed. So there are like some songs on her previous 2 albums where it's like a story. So there's one about like a murder case happening, and she put me and herself as like characters in the song, which I thought was so smart. And then there was like a page where like you give like reviews of me. It sounds weird, but like, and then she texted Kelly asking her to like write a little thing about me, I think, and then you wrote like a hot glue gun out of 5, right?
Oh yeah, there was the rate and review thing, yeah.
And hot glue gun and microwaves are random things that I just really, really love a lot. Okay, so Jamie says, give us a hint about a future episode.
Oh, this one's gonna be hard. Because we don't really decide on like a certain topic until we record. Because we just have a list that we want to cover.
You can just pick a random one from the list.
A hint. Nothing's gonna beat my the Scream Ice Cube tray hint, though.
That was a really bad hint, but like also funny.
But it was so funny for us. It was just really funny for us.
Yeah.
But let's see, a hint. Well, like this is something that I want to talk about. It's to do with gender.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yep.
And that's all I'll put.
Yep. Okay, so that's your hint. And Mia asked, have you binged anything recently? Like, you definitely have.
I binge everything all the time.
How many hours has it been of K-drama that you've watched?
Probably not. It's not just K-drama. It's like Asian drama and Asian movies in general. This doesn't include like Western stuff that I've watched, and it doesn't include anime at all.
Right.
Considering that I've watched One Piece. I'm not really up to date, but yeah. Let's say...
Oh, my friend loves One Piece.
So I'm following a few dramas. Binging. I'm currently binging a drama called Hush, which has Imuna from Girls' Generation. It's pretty good. It started off a bit slow, but it's getting good.
And I haven't really been watching too many shows right now. I've been watching The Office, but not binging that. So honestly, no, I haven't been binging anything. And I want to answer this question. This is just a me question. I don't think you can answer this. But she also asked, which Taylor tour has been your favorite to attend? So, Taylor Swift. I've only attended 2, which is 1989 and Rep. And honestly, I don't know what happened, but I have no memory of 1989 at all. I only remember it from the video, the tour movie thing that came out. I do remember Rep, but I have to say that 1989 was a better tour, but I remember Rep more, so that has to be my favorite. It's weird. But Rep was raining, so. And then David asked, how long does each episode take and what video editor do you use?
So in terms of recording, we record for like an hour or so ish, depending on like the topic and how long we want the episode to go. But we try to keep it under an hour because I feel like sitting there listening to my voice for an hour isn't very fun.
Like for other people or yourself?
I mean, if it's like, I just don't think that's something I want to watch, so I don't want other people to have to deal with that too.
Okay.
But like, I can't really tell what other people think. So, and video editor, we don't really edit much.
I use Audacity for audio.
We use Audacity for audio. I use iMovie for our video because like it's literally just slapping our logo and like, well, we're gonna upgrade now, but we edit our kind of like visuals and our Instagram posts on Canva.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a better suggestion. iMovie, I just use it because it's on my laptop. I don't need to pay for anything extra. It's chill.
I've gotten so much better with using Audacity though. I feel so cool right now. Like I figured out how to do like reverb and like amplify, compress, noise reduction, which like it's pretty cool. Like if there's like a weird banging sound in the background of me talking, I can like highlight just the banging sound and the app Audacity will like then cut out it from my audio. So I think that's pretty talented, whoever created that. And I'm gonna go, I'll continue and then okay, so this is from Sam. So this is gonna take a long time to answer, I think. He asked us a lot of questions, but I like this one. So, do you think that pain and trauma is necessary? And to what extent is it good or bad?
I mean, there's certain levels of pain and trauma that like, I think it's just a part of the human experience, right? Like you go through like all these different feelings and like you go through all these different things, and everything that's happened in your past is what shapes you in the future. So like,
yeah, definitely.
I think there's a certain level of like, if there's some sort of pain or trauma that someone can't move away from, like that's the point. That's kind of the point where like it's bad. But otherwise, okay, our brain will say like these things that happen to us are bad, but like I think after a certain period of time you're gonna realize that like because that thing happened to you, you change something that you do now.
Yeah, so you're saying that it's necessary for growth.
Yeah.
I would say that it's really necessary too, and it's essential because
like,
that's
until the level where it's like hindering you from growing.
So then I guess that's answering and to what extent is it good or bad. But then like for everyone it's going to be different.
Yeah, there's no way to kind of like give a distinct value or something.
Yeah. And I would too say that it's necessary because that's really what makes us like human. Like you will never meet anyone who has not gone through something like painful or like maybe traumatic. Yes, like not everyone has gone through something traumatic, but everyone's gone through some kind of pain that they've learned from and grown from, and that's what makes it good because that's how we learn things. And to what extent is it good or bad? It depends how you're able to cope with it. So, actually, okay. So, I'm gonna ask you a question. Actually, so okay, let's say that someone went through something like quite traumatic, right? And they were able to learn a lot from it and grow from it. But it also instilled like a lot of insecurities for them. What do you say then?
Like, okay, I would in that sense, like, this is, like, kind of also similar to, like, if someone went through something that stopped them from doing something they enjoy, but because of other people, that's kind of the point where I'm like, that's bad. Like, no matter how much you get over something, if it leaves a level of fear in something that you used to not fear, something that doesn't actually have, like, immediate danger to you, then I'm kind of like, that's where it's, like, starting to go into, like, the spectrum of bad. Like, if you have a spectrum between good and bad and, like, in the middle, it's like, I wouldn't say it's the worst trauma, but it is really bad. It's really hard to, like, kind of
agree.
Put things like these on a scale, though.
Yeah. Because I don't know if I agree with that. I wouldn't say it's, I mean,
it's like, it's very...
I'm answering from a very personal perspective. So for other people, I would say, like, oh, yeah, it is bad that, like, now you, like, because of this incident, you've developed this. And that's not good at all. But I think, like, if I'm putting myself in this scenario, and if I have gained a lot of, like, growth from it and become, like, stronger, I would say that that is definitely worth the pain that I went through and the issues that have grown from that problem too.
It also depends on, like, what scenario you're personally thinking of, because, like, it's gonna be different for everyone, so, like, don't take our word as the be-all end-all.
And also it depends, like, exactly what insecurities you develop. Like, if it's about, like, and, like, how bad those insecurities are. Like, if someone said to you that you look ugly and you're now able to step up for yourself and defend yourself, but also you now believe that you're ugly and you can't really go out of the house without wearing makeup, then I would say that it's bad.
Oh, I have a story to tell you, but I'll tell you another time, not on here, because it's a bit more. Yeah, it's a bit more personal. So, next question.
The viewers are curious now. Okay, next question. This is sent in from my sister. She says, will you have a TFF meetup?
What?
It's like, you know, like how famous people, like YouTubers, they have, like, meetups with their fans?
I am my own fan. That is it. We're done.
Oh my God.
I'll meet up with myself.
And then, what was the vibe like at Law Review? Is your social life better after joining?
I mean...
Which we kind of answered that too.
I think a lot of good things, at least for me, came out of Law Review. Just, it's a lot more, like, personal stuff than kind of general, like, just a Law Review thing. I think for me, like, Law Review was a bit more of, like, it was just a chance that I took because Flora dragged me into it.
Oh, yeah, it did. Yeah.
And, like, it ended up being pretty good. I reconnected with someone, and yeah, I'd say, like, my kind of value that I put on Law Review is a lot more personal than, like, just the society and the production in general.
And what was the vibe like? Like,
it was very, like, chill, fun. I think, like, everything was a lot more toned down because of Corona. Because, like, there were so many restrictions on the things that we could do. And I didn't even realize that until, like, we're starting planning med review events now. And we're like, oh, so the scale is so much bigger.
And comparing yourself from a portfolio member to now a portfolio head, do you feel like the vibe has kind of changed? I mean, it is different societies, but, like, Yeah, like, do you think the vibe has changed at all?
I think like law review was so much more chill. Like we were just there. But low key, I was slightly like salty that so many people that like expressed interest never ended up doing anything, didn't end up turning up at all. Like our group was like, the chat was so much bigger,
Oh,
but
yeah.
the number of people active was like a small fraction of the
But
chat.
that's because a lot of people dropped out and then they just never left the chat, though.
Yeah, and they were still invited to all the events, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just hoping now that I'm as a porthead position, maybe, hopefully, we can make it more like involved in terms of like having members more involved, because I definitely felt like I didn't do much in law review.
Yeah. Me too.
Like I was literally just there for the fun. Like I didn't actually physically plan as much. It was also because like law review events tended to land on my work days. So like I just couldn't go to some of the stuff.
Yeah. Law review was kind of like attending events and like being there just to exist and have the numbers up. Whereas being a head, you actually are more involved in the planning, which is like, it comes with its own consequences. Like, it's more stressful. Yeah.
It's gonna get so stressful when final party.
Like, we've it hasn't really like really begun
Settled.
because like we haven't really started uni yet, but like already we've like
I can already see our future, like our future selves being like dead.
yeah, like we'll just be texting each other like, what is happening? I have that I shouldn't mention anything. I shouldn't go further, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm gonna go back a few questions because seems like there isn't as much as I thought. So Zara asked, if you could choose one person to live with forever, dead or alive, real or fiction, who would it be?
My mom.
And explain. I mean, you don't really need to, but if you want to.
Yeah, like I feel like that's a very like, it's a generic answer, but it's very important to me because growing up and even now, I'm very close with my mom. I stick to my mom a lot. I'm a mummy's little girl, okay? Or like technically, according to my mom, my dad favors me over my brother, but I favor my mom over my dad. I just vibe really well with my mom. Like we're more like friends than we are like mother and daughter. And even when we go out, people actually think we're friends instead of like mother and daughter.
Oh, that's so cute.
It's weird. And like in terms of like, my personality is a lot more like my mom's than it is my dad's.
Oh, okay. I don't know how to answer that question. I just.
Oh, I would like to read a question after this.
Oh, okay. Have you got it up?
Yes.
I don't know how to answer that question, Sarah. Because I haven't.
You don't really have a person in mind?
Not like one particular person that I would just want to. Like, real or fiction? Okay.
But I feel like so many things could go wrong if you choose a fictional person.
Yeah, but then again, it's like, I think you fill in the gaps for...
You're making this person up for yourself.
Because it's fiction anyway. I'm not like emotionally attached to any fictional characters, so that's fine. So I wouldn't choose a fictional character. Any dead person? Probably not dead, because I don't know. It's definitely someone that I'd have to know personally. I wouldn't pick like a celebrity or I probably won't pick a friend either, so I'd probably go with family. But that's where I'm stuck. So yeah. Someone in the Yim family. Yeah, do you want to read yours out?
So this is the question I sent in. Does Flora love Kelly?
Oh. Right, I forgot you sent this in. You know, I've been meaning to tell you for some time, but to be honest, no, okay? Now, question for you. Do you love Flora?
I mean, like, I'm sorry to break this to you, but my answer is also no.
What a good dynamic we have.
And I think with that, that's a good way to end the episode.
Okay, we should finish the episode now, yeah.
Yeah. So
thanks everyone for clicking onto this video. This was a much different kind of video than we normally record. And if you do like these, please let us know for future, because I liked recording it. It was fun answering your questions and getting you guys involved. And thanks for everyone who sent in a question.
And so our podcast is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube, and I think also Google Podcasts. I didn't realize that it was distributed there.
Yeah, it is.
But that exists too. And hopefully you guys like this episode. Like, subscribe to our YouTube, and leave a comment. Leave your questions in the comments too if you want. If you don't want to message us, because apparently I'm intimidating. And otherwise, rate on Apple Podcasts, follow so you make sure you know when new episodes come out. And new episodes generally will come out on Sundays at 1 p.m. Sydney time.
Yeah, and also I feel like some people who are listening might be or like people who want to like talk to us, they might feel a bit scared about like commenting or like DMing us, since it's both of us running the account and you don't want to seem like weird about it or something if you're not like friends with the other member of this podcast. But honestly, it's fine. Like both, like it's if I happen to open a message that isn't like meant for me, I'll just hand it over to Kelly. Also, I don't really like care if like people I don't know text the account. Like it's like that's what happens. It's fine. So yeah, feel free to comment and let us know if you have any feedback or questions that you want us to answer. So thanks everyone once again, and we'll see you next week at Sunday 1 p.m.
Bye.
Bye.